My name is Reuven Tradburks. I'm the director of the RCA Israel region and also the director of the newly launched today RCA Ulpan L'Giur, which we're launching at 5 o'clock today in the presence of Rav Eller, the head of the Conversion Authority of the State of Israel, the Marach Giur, and Rabbi Zilberman will be there as well, the director of our Batei Din L'Giur in the RCA. I want to share a thought about Tu B'Shvat, and in particular about Chibas Haaretz and the outsized importance I think that it has in our time. We have a principle of Doresh Tzion, Dorishas Tzion, mentioned in Shulchan Aruch. It's found all over the place. For example, at the end of Psukei Zimra, we finish with the end of Az Yashir Moshe, and then we have a couple of psukim, including V'halum Moshim Bahar Tzion, Lishpot Es Harisav. What is that doing there? We've just finished all of Psukei Zimra. The answer is you can't leave Psukei Zimra without Dorishas Tzion. We continue on into the first bracha of Birchas Kriyas Shema, and at the end, Or Chadash Al Tzion Te'ir. What is that doing there when the whole bracha is talking about creation? And the answer is, again, we can't finish the bracha without Dorishas Tzion. We go into the second bracha of Birchas Kriyas Shema, and towards the end, after talking about Ava Rabbah and talking about Talmud Torah and the importance of Torah and a Bocher B'Yamo Yisrael B'Yahava, we say V'Haviyenu L'Shalom Mi'arbon Kafos Haaretz. We mentioned the return to the land of Israel, Tolechenu Kamiyot L'Eretzenu. What is that doing there? The answer is you have to have Dorishas Tzion in the bracha. The Torah points out in Kedusha, there's two. Why is the Kedusha, the Sidra of Uva L'Tzion, different than the Kedusha of the Amidah? In Kedusha the Sidra, we say at the end, Hashem Yimloch Le'olam Va'ed, as the third pasuk. A very simple statement of the permanence of Malchus Hashem. But that's not the pasuk that we say in Kedusha in the Amidah. We say, Yimloch Hashem Le'olam Elokach Tzion. Why do we say that? So the Torah says because in Kedusha in the Amidah we want to have Dorishas Tzion. We want to mention Tzion as well. We know in benching we have Bnei Yerushalayim, and Sheva Brachas, we have Sos Tasis, Od Yishama B'Yarei Yehuda, the Birchas Haftorah, we have Rachem Al Tzion. Dorishas Tzion is everywhere. I would say it's a halachic statement. Galus is a machayev in Dorishas Tzion. If one is in Galus, there's a requirement to not forget Tzion and to want it, to be Dorish Tzion. If that is the case, what do we do in the return to the land of Israel? The return to the land of Israel is also a machayev. I would say it in broad terms that Hashem's relationship with the Jewish people is expressed in two different manifestations. In the Shema we say, when we're doing the mitzvahs and we have Avas Hashem, then He gives us rain. If we don't do the mitzvahs, He withholds the rain. If it gets even worse and we're Holech Imo Bakeri, then He exiles us from the land of Israel. Hashem's expression of disappointment in the Jewish people is galus, and in the land of Israel, it's withholding of rain. On the other hand, Hashem's pleasure, perhaps, and ahava, is that He says, I don't want you to be far from me. I want you now to be close to me. And He brings us back to the land of Israel, Shivas Tzion. That's an expression of ahava of Hashem for the Jewish people. And in the land of Israel, what's a further expression of ahava? It would be rainfall. Well, rainfall doesn't just fall for rain. The rain is falling so that we have produce. Abundance of produce in the land of Israel is an expression of love of Hashem for the Jewish people. Shmuel Golden told me he was sitting around the table on Friday night, and people said, well, if in a tainus we're mefashfesh ma'asenu, what do we do wrong? Well, what do we do when there's so much rain in the land of Israel? The Kinneret is up over a meter this year. What have we done right? Well, that sentiment is correct. So if Galus is a machayev in Dorish Tzion, so what is the return? What is Shivas Tzion a machayev in? It's a machayev in Chibas Haaretz, and in particular in the consumption of fruits on Tu B'Shvat. That is an expression that we have an abundance of rain, which comes from Avat Hashem, Ava Hashem for us. And so we're returning that to him. Rav Shechter has pointed out that Az Yashir Moshe in this week's Parsha is an expression of spontaneous religious expression of appreciation at Geula. We have a requirement to be sensitive religious souls, and when things go bad, we should view that in a religious sense, and when things go good, we should view that in a religious sense as well. What's the machayev of when things go well? Well, the machayev is to return the appreciation through chibas haaretz. So I think that's the reason why in our time, the Tu B'Shvat has become different. It's not only eating fruits, it's eating fruits of the land of Israel, and that's an expression that we appreciate that we are living in unprecedented times. We've come back to the land of Israel. Israel was just said to be one of the most expensive places in the world to live because people want to live here, and the country is prospering so much. This past few weeks with 50 world leaders gathering in Yerushalayim is unprecedented. The building that's going on, it's all unprecedented. So what's our response to that? It's got to be chibas haaretz. And I would just offer, just as a conclusion, that in Chutz La'aretz, it's really important for people to buy Israeli produce and to support Israeli things as an expression of chibas haaretz. But, buying grapefruits, Israeli grapefruits in Costco, does not compare to the requirement to come and live in the land of Israel. If we've been smiled upon and we've been given this, and he says to us, I want to bring you back, and I want to hug you, and I want to have you close. I don't want to have you far anymore. I think we have to respond and at least talk, as Rav Shechter says, a few times a year to our kehilas about the importance of Aliyah. The historical moment requires us to respond to the ahava that is being showered upon us through coming and wanting to live here. There was a study recently done that 70% of the people who come to study in the one-year program think about Aliyah, and 5% actually make Aliyah. And one of the reasons is because parents object to their children making Aliyah. That is a tragedy. We should be encouraging our children to make Aliyah, and then we should be following them. So on this upcoming moment of a minor holiday of Tu B'Shvat, we have an opportunity in our time to emphasize Chibat Haaretz. Thank you.